So to the point of symmetry or congruency, so to be congruent is like, you know, to kind of be a little bit different in shape and size, but for the most part to have the same proportions or to have the same sort of, you know, kind of symmetry to other things or other people and stuff like that. So this is just the basic thought. One should have some sort of congruency with one's social affairs, interactions, and so forth. So like, I think one of my biggest pet peeves is when others tell you not to do something but they do it themselves, or when people criticize you for doing something when they're guilty of it, or when people get angry at you for doing X, Y, and Z, whereas they do that kind of injustice upon you. So there needs to be more congruency in social interactions and affairs. And I mean, a very simple thing is to put yourself in someone else's shoes, and also asking other people to put themselves in your shoes. Like, for example, you know, if I have a certain position or a certain thought and then someone criticizes me, then maybe it's useful for me to ask the other person, oh, how would you feel, or what would you do if you're in my shoes? It's similarly like whenever you're asking medical advice from a doctor, don't be like, hey doc, what do you recommend me to do? Be like, hey yo doc, if I was your son, what would you tell me to do? Or similarly, when you're asking people for life advice, don't tell them, oh, you know, what should I do or what do you recommend? Be like, yo, what is the advice you wish you could have gave yourself had you rewind the time back to my age or something like that? And so I ask it when I meet a lot of people who are older than me who are quite successful. I'm like, yo, if you're 32 years old again, which is my current age, what advice would you have given your 32-year-old self or 18-year-old self or 12-year-old self? It's a very effective tactic, because certainly everyone is self-interested, and there's some sort of revealed preferences when it comes to people's true actions, revealed actions through their behaviors. So for example, never ask people, what should I invest in? Be like, yo, what stock do you have in your portfolio, or what are you currently investing in? And until people have actually put their money on the line, you actually don't know what their true beliefs is. Like my friend Max Merkel says is that you vote with your dollars, which I think is actually quite wise. Like, even for myself, I only know if I'm truly a fan of a certain artist if I actually do attend their shows, pay for their merch, or pay for the album. So for example, you know, I could easily pirate any of Kanye or Jay-Z's albums, but you know, I choose to buy the albums, you know, on iTunes or their website, whatever. Like Jesus is King, I bought on Kanye's site. Is that, to me, it's more of a badge of honor. And it's because, like, at the end of the day, my $10 means nothing to Kanye or Jay-Z, but it's truly a mark of true devotion or true belief. And so I would even do it from kind of more of a self-interested perspective, is that the purpose of buying someone's merch or stuff or whatever essentially is to tell yourself, this is what I really, really do like. And that's why actually I do believe in economics and money, and insofar much as you don't know if you really, really like something or care about something until you actually pay real money for it. How's it going? So as a consequence, I'd really recommend you to, you know, put your money where your mouth is, not like in some sort of moralistic, ethical perspective, but it's more of like, you could tell yourself what you really like. So for example, you know, I've bought almost all of Kanye's recent music, bought Pusha T, Sahai the Prince, Kendrick, Dr. Dre, and stuff like that. And that's how I know, you know, when people ask, what's your favorite music, whatever, I could genuinely say that because I know for myself, because I spent the money on it, I really do care about it. And so just kind of try to live in accordance with what you personally believe in. You know, let us try to opt for more expensive talk than cheap talk, and essentially You know, like the typical Gandhi quote, which I love. I use it for my college application to UCLA when I was applying as a high schooler. You know, become the change what you wish to see in the world. It's so cheesy, but it's true.